So I guess this is part 2. So anyway, that's broken off the weld from the vibration, and yeah, anyway, burning my truck. Okay, let's start over here from the left side. There's my APO right here. It has broken, I think. It's not working right now, but I've replaced the thing that goes in it twice, and anyway, it's not working at the moment. So there's that. Let's see. Switch is burned out. My unit in the back has actually caught fire twice. The wiring harness, it doesn't work. That doesn't work anymore. My temperature gauge, the burner switch doesn't work anymore. I have to have it on for everything to run, but with that being said, one of the wires behind it doesn't work, so I have to have another homemade toggle switch to make my burner work, and he knows about this. Okay, let's talk about my rinse aid. It doesn't work. So there's that. So I mentioned it catching fire twice and all that. I'll post a video of actually have a picture of my hose. I have brand new hoses, less than 6 months old, and I've popped 3 of them. And David says your hose will not pop from pulsation. Well, when you look at the hose, you'll see that it's crazy. It vibrates like when you lay it on the ground. It vibrates so much it looks like a snake. Let's see, is that all up front? I mentioned that. Yeah, so that's all that. So, and I mentioned that gets hot. With that being said, that gasket keeps burning out. It gets so hot that the gasket's hardened and now I leak oil everywhere. And that's one of the reasons why I bought a new truck mount, was because my Pro Chem was leaking oil, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I bought this, and barely a year into it, and I'm leaking everywhere. So yeah, so there's that. So let's go to the inside. And my tank doesn't stay there, by the way. I do move it when I'm working. Let's talk about this system. Look at all those hoses. David says it's a easy system, but look, all these hoses, and you have some underneath that that's just for the water. It's unnecessary. It needs one unloader, not one. There's 2 and number 3 right there. So pulsation in the hoses. I've replaced every hose on here several times, and some of these will just pop for no reason. That's why I have these red instead of the clear ones, because I can't keep them to stay on because it has too much pressure and they'll pop off. There's the exhaust. You can see where, I hope you can see where I've welded it, but anyway, there's that. So let's talk about the burner. Out of the year that I've had this, I've had my own burner. It's the Northern Tool diesel burner that I've been using, because I want to say 50%, probably more, that this hasn't run. There's the igniter that I had to take off because it burned out. I burned through another igniter. There's the 3rd igniter that it's on. So it keeps going through igniters. There's a fan there. I've had to replace 3 of the fans so far. I've had to replace this bar because for some reason something's not balanced, and anyway, the fan's not going out on me anymore. But with that being said, I should have never had to worry about it. You know, brand new machine. This tank here, the float they give you is just trash. I can't use it because no matter what, I've been sent 3 floats and all of them leak, so it keeps flooding my truck. Let's see, what else, Randy?
You got to jerry rig the wire from the burner to the...
Yeah, I have to jerry rig the wire. That's what I was saying. I have to make my own switch to make the burner work. So there's that. So I want to say about the only thing I haven't replaced is, you know, the engine is, like I said, is leaking oil everywhere. I have pulsation from the pump. About the only thing I haven't had to deal with is the vacuum. So the first week that I had this thing, I called David because over 50% of the bolts on this machine were not fastened down. Like, I had to go through the whole machine and fasten everything down. And he said that was because he had a new worker. So that took me several hours to go through the machine and try to make sure that it was all good. Okay. Yeah. This is my second low flow switch. That's my third filter right there that I've gone through. These things here constantly leak. That's the unloader right there. There's two of them, like I said. And in one of these, I have a picture of it, the spring shattered. Once again, I keep telling them that there's too much vibration in this machine, and that's probably due to that. I don't know. So the first week, like I said, I had to go through the bolts and tighten them all. It shouldn't have been my job. And so first week the pump quit working, and so I talked to him, but because of everything being loose, I just got through doing 3 apartments that were full of piss when the pump went out on me. Well, while I'm trying to figure out what was wrong with it, the APO, that's that thing right there, it's actually metal now, but they had plastic fittings on it. And while I was over here trying to mess with it, that popped off, and every bit of, like, all the water from my tank was splashing on me. So basically I got covered in piss water for the whole day because I didn't have time to stop and reschedule and all that stuff. So I will say this, that there's one time I was at a lady's house. I had to some of these hoses busted. That's what I was saying. I keep having to replace these hoses. Well, they kept popping, and I couldn't keep them from popping while I was at her house. So it took me about 2 or 3 hours trying to fix all this stuff. Well, she finally told me to leave. She's like, "You're not just going to work on your stuff in my driveway. Leave." So then she left a bad review and left a 1-star. And so in order to get that review removed, I had to basically do the job for free. It was tile and grout and some rooms with carpet. So anyway, I went back and did it free, and she dropped it. And anyway, I didn't even get a good review out of it. So that's $600 lost, plus the extra 3 hours of working on this thing trying to get it going. I told David about it. He said he would compensate me, make it right. I haven't seen anything for that. Anyway, I got over 200 hours of working on it. This is Randy right here. Say hi, Randy.
Hi.
How many jobs have you had to do for me because of this machine breaking down?
25, 30.
Yeah, so anyway, I thought it was 15 or 20, but it's clearly more than that, because I'm always having to, like, "Hey, Randy, what you got today? Can you help me out?" And so, you know, I don't expect him to give me any money off of it, so that's all money lost. Bob Rugrats, y'all probably know him as well, and he's actually helped me a couple times as well, which when I post this, he'll probably get online and let everybody know that what he's done. I think that's a pretty good list of everything that's happened. I'm trying to think of everything off the top of my head, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Oh yeah, you can see where it's burning my truck. Yeah, it wasn't doing that until the smokestack came loose, and you can see where right there it swelled up, bulged out, and all the welds broke. But I guess it's my problem now. So anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.